Question of the day. Could you work with your spouse? Well, today's couple owns a multi-million-dollar real estate company, all while balancing marriage, parenting, and life's trials and tribulations.
He got his license first and ran with the business for a year. And then I jumped in. He was doing about 300,000 GCI on his own.
So that's gross commission income. So
Yeah.
I'm doing that part-time. So I'm still making 150. I'm doing real estate part-time. Without any assistance from my wife, and I'm making 300K.
Now, before we hop into today's video, be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Now let's jump into the episode.
Yo, fam, so coming from high school sweethearts, right, to now living in Maryland, with how many kids y'all got now?
3.
3.
Yes.
My newest one is out there.
Yes.
Out there with the nanny.
Out there with the nanny.
Oh, you a girl dad for real, for
I
real.
am, bro. Absolutely. Yes, I am.
To making some of y'all's best years as a couple has been 1.2, but y'all are averaging what, about $800,000 a year.
Yeah.
Yes.
I want to talk about this. I'm gonna go here, and then I'm gonna come back to the very beginning. What has been one of y'all's secrets? Like, what is the key for this young, thriving couple building a business together? You know what I'm saying? Especially a Black, young, successful couple.
I think one of the biggest things is it comes down to five things total that we apply in our relationship. It would be communication.
Okay.
We prioritize our relationship.
Yes, we do.
We make sure that we are constantly talking about and sharing our common goals. Emotional support is key. And of course, the biggest one of all is flexibility.
Yes.
Flexibility.
Flexibility,
I
absolutely.
say the biggest is communication.
So you would say communication, you would
Yes.
say flexibility.
Absolutely.
That sounds like a man, that sounds like a woman.
Yeah.
I'm serious. So why would you say flexibility?
I would say flexibility because as a business owner, as a father, especially a father that's very active and hands-on, you know, in my children's lives, a lot of times the business would take the front seat. Okay. So if she's got to run and go pick the kids up from school or daycare or after-school activities, I'm deeply rooted in all of that. So if I'm at an appointment, I'll rush that appointment so I can make sure I get back to the kids, because I'm the not the soccer dad, I'm the basketball dad.
Yeah.
So I take them to practice 3 times a week, plus their personal training that they do. So I think flexibility is key, because if not, it's like, hey babe, I'm at an appointment. You make sure you go get the kids.
But then what did he just do? Communication. Hey, babe, I'm at an appointment, you know?
I like it.
Yo, that's
I like
what's
it.
up.
Yes.
But I think one of the reasons why, and y'all, they done try to, hook me up with, a couple of their friends.
Oh, really?
And,
Some good candidates.
Some good candidates, you know what I'm saying? And one of the candidates said that I have poor communication.
Yes.
And I respect that. That's real. Why is communication so important in a relationship from a woman's perspective?
Man, you just need to be able to express how you're feeling, where you're at in your space.
Yeah.
And also, I want to hear from you. Like, how are you feeling and where are you at in your space? Communication is very, we don't want to just be second guessing anything.
Yeah.
I mean, I'll go and get my hair done and come home and something different. And if I walk through the door and I don't hear anything, no communication at all, I'm like, okay, does he like it? Do I look nice? Like, stuff like that. It's like we have these communication talks all the time. Like, if I come in the house looking different, I need you to notice that. If you like it, say it. If you don't, tell me. Like, be open and honest with communication. It's key.
So it's not really like, hey, how are you?
No.
It's like when you walk through the door and the hair is different,
Yes.
you know what I'm saying? Because that's how much, so your hair was different, sis.
Yes. It's always different.
Last time I saw you,
I just saw you, like, God, no, it's it.
That's a part of it.
But so it's really about just, you want your husband to acknowledge and communicate.
Yes.
For what he acknowledges.
Yes.
And has that on the business side of things, so that's more so on the relationship. I mean, you all have built a huge, $1 million plus real estate business. How does communication come in with that? Especially now with a newborn.
Right.
So for us, I think very early on, when Google Calendars weren't even popular, we were leveraging a calendar. We've been leveraging a calendar for about 10 years now.
We live by a calendar.
We live by the calendar. So our Amazon shows everything that's going on. Plus, we have our phones where first thing we do before we go to bed at night is we check the calendar to see what's the urgency when we get up in the morning outside of getting the kids ready for school and out the door? But then also when we wake up in the morning, it's what are the appointments that we have? So for us, the calendar means everything. And if it's not on our calendar, it does not exist for us.
It doesn't.
It doesn't exist for us.
That's real. That's real. And one thing I got to say, man, you a dope father. I remember one time I called you. I was like, hey, bro, can we run this real quick? You was like, nah, man, I got my newborn right here on my chest. Wifey's out doing business. I was like, yo, that's pretty dope.
Yeah.
That's pretty dope. Wifey's out making the money. I'm home with the kids.
I love that. I love it though, like, because it's not just the gender specific roles. It's just, it's not a thing for us.
Y'all don't have none at all.
And I grew up in a household where
it was.
It was.
Same here. I mean, my parents are from the South, so, you know, my mom took care of everything in the household. My dad worked. My mom worked too, but, I mean, cooking, cleaning, everything. My mom did it all.
Yeah. So you'll take out the trash?
Out to the curb?
No. Out to the trash can.
Oh, yeah, I do.
You'll take the trash to the trash can?
Yes, if it's full, I will take it to the trash can.
My baby's not touching that gray trash can.
No, I'm not. I'm not wheeling it to the curb.
Like, all the germs on there from the trash?
No.
I'm not doing that.
Is it because of germs or is it because you're a woman?
It's not because I'm a woman.
You just don't like the germs?
I will do it if I had to. If he was out of town and I had to wheel the trash can back and forth, I'll do that. But I'm not going to do it because that's something he always does.
Wow.
Just like he doesn't wash dishes because that's something that me and my daughter always do.
They say that 20% of small business owners in the U.S. are couples. And it shows that as a couple, status is showing, right, that as a couple, that together is better than just a person like myself.
Okay.
So working together, has it been beneficial? Like, what are some of has it been beneficial? Yes. But then too, like, what's some of the issues that come with working together?
Let me give you another statistic that's a little alarming.
What's
when you
that?
talk about couples.
Yeah.
48% of couples that go in business together end up divorced.
They end up divorced.
37% of divorced couples that are in business together are real estate agents.
Oh.
What?
Interesting.
Say it one more time. So 40?
So 48% of couples that go into business together
End up divorced.
end up divorced.
Okay.
And then out of that, 37% real estate agents or sales, car salesmen, insurance, things like that. We have real estate agents have the highest divorce rate.
Is
out
it
of all
because
occupations.
of lack of sales?
Not lack of sales. I think that in real estate, because there's no ceiling, one, there's no ceiling on the income that you can make. That's number one. Two, it has the lowest barrier of entry. So you can get into real estate for a couple $1,000s,
Yep, in high
getting your
school.
license.
In high school,
and then you can become a millionaire. You can become a millionaire.
Yeah.
So when you have people that have experienced the amount of and the abundance of money that can be made in this business, how they say money changes you?
It does.
It can certainly change you, and it'll make you question your relationship. And I think that one of the things for us that really changed the game, and I think that's why we go against the statistic. One, I started in real estate first. It was her idea for us to come into it, but I started first. So I got everything steamrolled. I got the business up and running. I was generating the income. We both were still government.
Yeah.
A lot of my clientele was single women. And it's based on, I made sure I put the best picture up there. I'm suited and booted.
Yep.
So a lot of the calls I would get from internet leads were single women.
Wow.
So that I experienced a lot of success.
And if your relationship is not strong, and if you don't have the trust in your spouse or your partner to service clients like that, because as a real estate agent, you're constantly on the phone with them, emailing, also out showing properties. Yes, going to houses.
By yourself?
Empty houses. Exactly.
Bro, listen here.
So it leaves room for that. And it's very important to trust your spouse in a business like real estate. I mean, first of all, you must have to have, with the foundation and confidence in your relationship to know that if your significant other is servicing someone that's single, they're constantly communicating with them on the phone, email, texting, showing properties by themselves. In real estate, you must definitely have to know that that person is out there doing the work, putting in the effort to support the family financially, and basically just having that trust and confidence, knowing that they're coming home to you. So whether you're the husband or the wife, it leaves room for that. And so you have to have that trust in your spouse in order to know that, like, okay, he's out there doing what he's supposed to be doing.
He's super secure.
Yeah.
Yo, real quick, you guys, are you looking to change your career here in the year of 2023? If so, look no further than Bethel School of Technology, the only Christian online tech boot camp in the world. According to a recent report, Black people make up just about 4% of the U.S. technology workforce. But you see, at Bethel Tech, who I've partnered with for this year, they believe that all people, including us Black people, should have access to the lucrative and fulfilling opportunities in the tech industry. Now, with their 9-month program, you'll gain the essential skills you need to start a successful career in technology. And let's not forget the earning potential. You see, according to Indeed, the average salary of a software developer in the US is around $103,000. Say what? You know, you can choose from programs like the cybersecurity and UI UX design and launch your tech career or even a tech business ignited with passion and purpose. So listen, we're going to skip the debt and we're going to invest into yourself for just 9 months that can change the next 9 years of your life. All you got to do is join Bethel Tech today to achieve your career aspirations. Visit AnthonyONeal.com/Bethel or click the link in today's show notes today so you can register and start a new journey of your life. Now, you know what? Let's get back to the show because this is a good one today. Let's keep it a buck. So I got to ask a real question. I ain't give y'all this question ahead of time. Here's a real question.
Okay.
If I'm a single real estate agent, taking a single woman to see an empty house, has anything in history ever gone down that should not have gone down that y'all know of?
So for us, the answer one,
Heck
never.
no.
However, I know.
Yo, your wife looking at you like,
But so I do, 100%.
for real?
100%.
Is it common?
I've heard several.
Wow.
Yeah.
I've heard several. But it's not, to me, that's the wildest thing that you could do.
Yeah, that's
and the
crazy.
reason why is because
Messing up your money.
Your livelihood, if you're ever caught doing something like that, there's too much on the line.
Yeah.
That's crazy to me.
Yeah.
Jesus.
But yes, it does happen.
Man, this is crazy. High school sweethearts.
Yeah.
Where'd y'all meet at?
Woo!
So Carowinds, actually.
Charlotte, North Carolina, on the border of Charlotte, North Carolina, and South Carolina.
Okay.
So my sister knew Anthony first.
Okay.
And she was like, once, you know, she talked to Anthony and was like, hey, my sister's coming to high school. You know, I was in middle school still. He was already in high school. And she was like, once he gets to his high school, you're going to be dating my sister. And
I had a girlfriend.
He had a girlfriend at the time. He's like, nah.
Dumped her like a bag of bricks.
He did. He did.
Yo,
He went for it.
Sorry if you watch
you dropped her for an 8th grader, Doc?
He did.
Coming in the 9th grade?
Yes.
I'm great.
Yes. So, I mean, as
grade.
soon as I got into
She was
high school,
bad,
I
bro.
already
She was bad. I was like, yo,
Thanks, babe.
this ain't even gonna matter when we adults. So like, let me get all this backlash on the front end.
Oh my God.
Wow.
Yeah.
High school.
So, yeah. So, I mean, as soon as I stepped foot into high school, I already had a boyfriend. And it was Anthony.
And y'all, it was a rap since, and y'all never broke up, never did none of that.
Yes.
Never
Never broke up, but you know, always somebody has something to say.
High
Then
school,
we
there was
have
all
our
kinds of stuff,
drama,
dramas
you know,
and
things like
stuff
that.
like that. But that was like the ultimate test. We made it through that.
Yes.
There was nothing that we couldn't do. And then when I was a senior, I actually got out early. It was exam week. I was done with my exams. She was in economics class that I just so happened to be in as well. And I told her then that I was gonna marry her.
For real.
And I was like, boy, bye.
I told her, I said, you're gonna be my
Senior year.
wife.
Yeah.
You knew that for sure.
He knew it. And he told me again, we were at your parents' house. I was like 16 and I was just about to leave and we always gave hugs and kisses and he was like, you know I'm gonna marry you. And I was like, okay. Like he always said that.
Did you believe him? Or were you just saying, okay, just like the typical woman answer?
Yeah, I'm just like, okay. I mean, I love him so much, so of course I would want that, but I'm like, I'm still in high school.
Her dad said it was puppy love.
My dad says
like,
puppy
I mean,
love, yeah.
as a father and, you know, as a girl dad, I'd be saying the same things.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
that was, he was sure that it was puppy love.
What made you so sure that she was your wife at 18?
So it was, I mean, from the very beginning, man, it was like she always saw things in me. Our relationship has always been competitive. I didn't care about school. I did not care about school. I think I didn't really take it seriously until my senior year. So with her, she was straight A student. I never knew that you could get higher than a 4.0 as a high school student. I did not know that. And she showed me that. So that just goes to show you, like, just what I was exposed to in a relationship with her. It made us competitive. I graduated with a 3.25, never had a 3 anything.
Wow.
But because I refused to lose to this woman,
Right.
it just elevated everything about me. So that's how I was sure.
Well, you still lost because she graduated with a 4.0.
For sure. Yeah, I did.
But you
Like
still won.
no, like a 4.125.
Damn. 20 years later, hold up, bro. Give me my credit. Give me my credit 20 years ago. But hey, that's funny. So then what happened? I'm curious because I'm always fascinated in Black love, right? What happened after you graduated? Like what? I mean, because, bro, let's be real. You know what I'm saying? You went into the real world then.
Yeah.
Like, I think you went into the military after that time frame?
Yeah, so I was home for 2 years after I graduated. Wasn't really sure what I wanted to do. All my
college.
friends were going to college. And my parents were like, you are not taking school seriously. We're not paying for you to go to college. They said, but you can go to this community college. Wow. Central Piedmont Community College in Charlotte, North Carolina is where I went for 2 years.
You did.
And I just felt like the path that I was on was not the ticket out of my parents' house. So I had to figure out how I could get on my own quickly as a man and be self-sufficient. And I knew that if I stayed home, I would have been that 25-year-old still at home with my parents, which my parents would have been okay with. My parents, we're New Yorkers, so you have people that grow up staying in their parents' house for 50 years.
Yeah.
So I beat feet to the military, and that just exposed me to a different world, which allowed for me to quickly grow as a man and be on my own. So 2 years after I graduated from high school, I joined the Air Force.
Air Force.
Yep.
Where were you at 2 years later when he joined the Air Force?
I was still in high school. No, I graduated. I was at UNC Charlotte.
UNC Charlotte.
Yeah.
On a
Y'all were still
scholarship.
On a
dating.
scholarship, a track and field scholarship. Yep.
Dating.
Yep, we were still dating. He asked me to marry him when I was 19.
So I went to Italy for 4 years, came home on leave. It was my sister's birthday, and I asked her to marry me at
16.
Macaroni Grill
Yes. Yep.
Macaroni Grill.
In Concord.
in front of my parents.
How old were you then?
19.
Yeah, he was going on 20.
Okay.
Yeah.
I was 19 going on 20 and proposed to her at my sister's birthday. She agreed there just because I guess she felt like that was what she was supposed to do.
Right.
Actually, I was 19. You were 20 because you're 2 years older than me. I was 19. You were 20, going on 21.
Oh, yeah. So she agreed like that was what she was supposed to do. So, you know, the traditional sense now, and I'm starting to see more people going back to it, but I didn't talk to her father about marrying her either.
Oh, my
I
dad
just went
was
and got a ring.
pissed.
Came, boom, asked her to marry me. I think I flew out back to Italy 2 days later.
Yeah.
And we started planning stuff and doing all of that, and then I came back and we were going to do Justice of the Peace.
Right.
And she said, that morning we were supposed to get up and go to the courthouse. She was like,
I'm not doing
can't
that.
do it.
I was like, I need a wedding. Like my mom didn't have a wedding.
Okay.
She didn't wear a dress. I need to be in a dress
Yeah.
and I need to have a ceremony. So we're gonna have to wait. So we did.
So she put it on pause. So I came home on leave.
But the good thing is, Anthony, like I would fly back and forth to Italy to visit him. Okay. So I finished college before, we decided to actually move in together and things like that. So I was able to finish college, but also still see him. So Christmas breaks, spring breaks, summer breaks, I was in Italy. My dad would fly me there. He was like, if you just stay here, finish college, I will make sure you can be with him. And he was doing the same. So yeah, I would jump on with
You know he was flying his daughter to me for?
Yeah.
Oh, hush. Very quiet.
Bro, man, know what time it is? Hey, don't get it twisted,
Oh my God.
I mean, y'all 6-7 years in the game now.
Yeah.
I mean, there's no stopping it.
Exactly.
So a good father be like, you know what? Hey, listen.
Gotta embrace this.
Let me embrace it. Let me not fight it. As long as you cover what you need to cover as a woman and as a man taking care of her, I'll support the movement. And I'm pretty sure he's super happy.
Oh, yeah.
Oh yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
Super
Yes.
happy.
Yes.
So you went off to the military, and I think and then military you got out, did a government job,
Yep.
and in government job you was making what, about 6 figures plus?
Yeah, I was making a little over 150,000.
Good God, good gracious. And then you, after you graduated college, what did you get into?
After I graduated college, I was an accountant and a bookkeeper.
Accounting and bookkeeping.
Yes. For a couple companies in Maryland.
For real?
Yes.
And what were you making?
At the time, as an accountant and bookkeeper, straight out of college, I was making about $60,000.
Okay.
And then I ended up getting my security clearance, and so through one of Anthony's government contracts he had, and I got a good old government job as well, making about six figures, a little over, like 120.
Let's talk about that. So y'all in y'all 20s, making a combined income of about $300,000.
Yes.
$300,000 with the average salary in America around that time was going to be right around 48.
Okay.
Average household income around that time is going to be around 55 to 58. Today it's 65,000 average household income. Y'all's household was doing 300,000.
We're thriving as 20-year-olds.
Yep.
Exactly.
Yeah.
What the pivot though from government guaranteed benefits, $300,000. That's
Right.
that's 25, 30 grand gross a month, 20 grand net. Why the pivot from that to going into real estate?
So we pivoted out of government going into real estate.
I think it's more to prioritize our relationship.
Definitely
and our
prioritizing the
family.
relationship, because I was, on numerous occasions, I was gone for more than half the year, deployed to the Middle East. And it paid great. So on top of the money I was making, I would come back with bonuses between $50,000 to $70,000. Just coming back, I'm talking cash bonuses in a check, lump sum, coming back from Afghanistan, Iraq. So
Well, you went to Afghanistan, you went to Iraq, and then you wanted to go back, and I said, you're not going back.
I was literally on my way.
No, we have a 1-year-old and
2 months out from going back to Afghanistan.
Yeah.
Chloe, our oldest, that's
Yeah.
12 now, she was in diapers and crawling when I left. Came back, she was walking. So I'm going back out again because I'm like, look, I just want to be debt free. Let's just eliminate all our debt. I'm gonna just go one more time. Just need to do this play one more time. She said, can't do it again. So, and I was outside the wire. I mean, I'm in it while we're out there. So it was more of a danger thing for her as well. So she said, look, babe, you can sell anything. My dad was in real estate at the time for about 30 years. And it was something I avoided just because when you talk about prioritizing relationships, my dad and my mom been together for almost 40 years now, but he was always working. And that was something that I didn't desire just because I saw the time commitment. So I told her, that was my narrative, was I don't have time to do that. And she flew our daughter.
I said, no, you do have time to do this. And so I signed us both up for a real estate course. I flew our daughter at the time, one daughter at the time. I flew her to Charlotte, North Carolina. My mom kept her for a whole month.
Mother's Day weekend, she sacrificed for Chloe to be there for us to do this.
Do this together.
First time mother, she was like, babies with the
so I was like, let's do this. So every Saturday and Sunday, we were in real estate class for 8 hours. During the week, we had quizzes and homework that we were doing together. And we studied, we passed. He got his license first and ran with the business for a year. And then I jumped in. He was doing about 300,000 GCI on his own.
So that's gross commission income. So I'm doing that part-time. So I'm still making 150. I'm doing real estate part-time. Without any assistance from my wife, and I'm making 300K. As a man, having a wife who supports you, it makes you feel as though you can conquer pretty much anything. I think in any relationship, when both individuals support each other, you can conquer the world. But when you have a wife who will support you and be behind you with anything that you do, for me, it was very empowering, and it made me feel as though I could take on any and everything, and I could support my family to the fullest, whether she worked or not.
So y'all went from 300 to 600,000.
Yep.
So then from there, we decided, okay, Sheikah's now pregnant with their second kid.
And I think I was 27 when we were
pregnant with the second kid, and I was like, all right, I don't want to go back and forth to work anymore. Like, I really want to be able to have my time.
Yeah.
I want to be able to go on field trips with the kids, not have to actually take off work, go on vacation when we want to.
Yeah.
So how can I do this? Well, I need to be in this business as well.
Yeah.
And so that's what we did. I ended up doing I did leave without pay for my government job. And we sent our second kid to daycare. The oldest was already in school. And was like, this can be an opportunity for me to see what we can do as a team. So leave without pay, so that gives us security if I want to go back and go back.
I also did leave without pay.
Yes.
I did leave without pay for 3 months.
Yeah,
wow.
He did. And so he resigned. I was still on leave without pay. We worked the business together for a year.
Okay.
And we did $900,000 in gross commission income.
What?
And so from there, we were like, okay, we can do this. And so we
really
both
just
resigned.
planned it out. So when I resigned, I had a bad day at work. Ended up coming home and talking to her about it, and she just supported me fully. So what I did was, again, she's not in the business yet. So I just laid out every deal that I had. So that month I had about $125,000 coming in, and we're living in our first place townhouse.
Okay.
So I'm like, babe, I got $125,000 coming in this year. That basically replaces your income for the year. We don't have your income now. I'm gonna make this jump, because my whole thing about jumping from government was I needed to be able to not only replace her income, but I wanted both of our incomes to come from this. And that's when I made the jump. It was about $120,000 coming in that month, and I literally Googled letter of resignation, changed the name, and took it and resigned from my government job that I had been at for, at that point, 8 years.
So was there any fear? Because you have a lot of people who are like, you know, they have this gift, they have this skill, right? But they have this guaranteed job, guaranteed source of income, medical benefits, you know, good pay, you know. But it's like, yo, this business could excel more over here, but I'm very comfortable over here. Was there a fear from going from here to there? Especially, I mean, y'all got 2 kids.
Yeah, at that time.
Huge fear, but what I will tell you is that it matters who you have as your spouse. Because there's a difference between going to your spouse and saying that you want to do something, but then when I go to her and then it's not only the support, it's, man, if I'm building that bridge and she got to go under and throw a brick, she's gonna make sure that happens in order for us to get across. So that was powerful to know that I had the full support of my wife and her believing me. Man, I could have jumped off that mountain and flew.
Wow.
And
I was just like, well, what's the plan? If you have a plan, then let's do it.
Wow.
The biggest fear for me was, you know, growing up, my mom always said to make sure as a woman that you can hold your own. Even if you're in a marriage, you can hold your own. Not for divorce, you know, it's just for basically thinking about your future. Like, what if Anthony gets sick? What if, you know, he dies? Like, we have life insurance, of course, but, you know, you got to be able to hold your own and be able to make sure that you can provide for the family as well. So that was the biggest fear for me, is like, okay, I'm leaving this bi-weekly pay and good benefits. And also, I mean, the federal government helped pay my student loans off. My student loans were paid off by the time I was 30.
Wow.
So I was like, okay, so I'm leaving all of this to go over here and be an entrepreneur and, you know, make our own. So I honed in on my strengths. And so what I did was I overcame that fear. Thanks, babe. It's always looking out. You know, I'll be like, how's my hair looking?
Hey.
So I overcame my fear of being in business with Anthony by just like honing in on my strengths and knowing like, okay, this is what I love to do. I love to organize, I love to plan, and I love to help people. And I took on the buyer side of our business and I just ran with it. So I handle all the buyers.
So you all are joining the network.
Yes.
And you all are starting a show called Building with the Masons. A couple of episodes you guys have already been released. We've been working on this with you all for like the last 6-7 months.
Yes.
And the reason why I like this show is because you all have built a 7-figure business, on average about 800, but y'all have had multiple years of 7 figures and building a real estate business. But then when I step back and look at you all have a healthy relationship. It's not a perfect one. You know what I mean? I don't think nothing's perfect.
Absolutely.
I don't know their personal business, but what I do see, and the reason why it took me a while to be like, all right, let's do the networks, because I wanted to make sure it was healthy, you know? Because I think we in the world need to see young, Black, healthy relationships.
Yes.
You know, we need to see a father being a father. We need to see a father also being a great husband. But then also we need to see like, okay, how do husband and wife deal with conflicts?
Yes.
And I got to see one of y'all's video. I don't know. Does she know I saw that video?
Yes, I did.
I'm like, what video? Let me lean
in the
on
car.
it.
And like y'all literally was like disagreeing in the car.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Like, and I could tell it wasn't fake because I know your faces.
Yes.
And I was like,
She
oh,
over there.
sis, for real, right? I was like, damn, y'all gonna put this out?
Yeah.
And y'all remind me of my brother-in-law and my biological sister belief in fatherhood. Like, they just put all their business out there, too. And I'm like, whew, I don't know if I could do that. So I got to ask this question. What are we going to get from you all. So this is not just entertainment.
No.
But what are we going to get from Building with the Masons, this new show?
It's gonna show a lot, but I think it's the depiction of a well-rounded couple
Yes.
raising 3 strong, beautiful Black girls, and all the intricacies and things that come along with that. The father side, our side, the entrepreneurial woman, nursing.
I got to talk about that because some of them ladies be getting on my nerves.
So like every aspect of that, and really just showing people that it's possible to be in business with your spouse, run a household, and then still be 2 independent, strong adults.
Yeah.
Yes.
That to me is just showing people how you can do all of those things and that it's possible, because we don't, outside of the Cosby Show, back in the day, you don't see that.
So in addition to our show, Building with the Masons, we are also have courses and programs that we're launching. One of them is LIFT. LIFT stands for Launching into Full Time, and it's for real estate agents. It's a 12-week program that's going to provide realtors with the knowledge, tools, and resources to launch their real estate business into full time.
Yep. And for me, another thing that we're currently working on, I'm on a huge fitness journey. I am a physique bodybuilder. So outside of that, I'm going to help individuals. It is 2023. I'm going to help individuals get into the best shapes of their lives. I meal prep, and I also have a fitness accountability program that will be rolling out, that will be on our website.
We really don't. We see them struggling.
Yes.
We see them living in
all the
houses.
Drama.
Yeah, you know. And I think drama is relatable, but it's like, how can we repaint that image?
Exactly.
You know, how can we show thriving couples winning, living in nice houses? How come it has to be only the white people with the white shows who have the big, beautiful houses and the beautiful things? And that's what I love. You know, y'all have a rising superstar. My oldest niece, you know, she got handles.
Yeah.
She gonna be a baller. You know,
Got to get them together.
Yeah, and so, but in this show, I'm curious, are y'all gonna be talking about how do you find balance between,
Definitely.
you know what I'm saying, work? Oh, I got a good question. I want to ask this question.
Okay.
I didn't even give y'all.
Oh boy.
Oh gosh.
This is gonna be good.
Okay.
I was on the phone with a young lady, and you know, as I am talking to any woman who I'm preparing to date into court, right? I ask some questions about like family thoughts, right? And so she had just had a kid. Well, she didn't just have a kid, but she had a 1-year-old. I said, I got a question for you. Let's say you have a kid. Y'all just had one. This is good. Yeah. All right, cool. I get it, right? You're a mom first, but this is your 3rd one, so this probably won't even matter with you. But let's say on your first child.
Yes.
You're probably focused on that kid. Who's your number 1 priority? Is it your husband still, or is it that kid?
It depends on the time of day.
That's actually a really good question.
No, I'm serious, because it's like, who is the priority to that woman?
Yeah, and that's the issue.
No fluff. Give them.
Well, I'm just gonna say it because when I had my first kid, before I had my first kid, my mom said, "Be ready, because he's gonna be jealous." And I said, huh? And I was like, no way. How would he be jealous of something so little and so cute? You know, whatever. And it's real. Like, it's real. Like, when you go from laying in bed, it's just me and him, and he's getting the head rub or the back rub, you know, to sleep at night. Now, this little baby is the one that's getting my attention in bed at night versus him until she sleep. Then I can give him attention, but then he sleep, you know. So it's finding that balance, and it's a real thing. Like, you know, a lot of people wouldn't think that my husband or my significant other would be jealous of this little person that's coming into the household. But I wouldn't say jealous, but it's more
it's not
of
jealousy.
It's not
in
jealousy.
A traditional sense. It's more
it's more like
that person is yours any given time of the day. Babe, let's go do this. And then it becomes, no, I've got to prioritize
I gotta
my child.
feed the baby. I gotta change a baby diaper, you know, prioritizing that. But I say it depends on the time of the day. Like if the baby's there and the baby needs you, then of course you're gonna go for the baby over your spouse. But at the end of the day, the end of my life, who I'm gonna be with is my husband.
And we joke about that with our kids because they feel like it's mommy, mommy, mommy. And I've sat them down and she'll tell you, I'm like, this is my wife. I knew her before you came in this world. You're here because of me.
Yes.
And when you're gone,
when you're married and with your family, it's still going to be us.
Right.
You know?
I tell them that, and it's not a game. Like, I sit them down, and my 12-year-old, she's like, whatever, Daddy. I'm like, no, this is my wife.
But you have to think of that, like, okay, these little people in your life for a small portion of your, like in your house, in your space.
Yeah.
But then when they're gone and you're empty nesters, you still got to have that connection, or it's just not going to work.
Yeah.
No,
and so we most definitely make sure that, at the end of the day, we're a team right here.
Right.
And those kids can be a team, but we, but we a team, like at the end of the day.
Yeah, I think that's so healthy, man. I remember my dad, my biological father, and my other mother. I hate saying stepmother. I treated my other mother like crap the first year. I won't say I met her the first year I moved in with them. I mean, like crap. It was her house. I'm talking about I'm doing things she's telling me not to do. And one day my dad walked upstairs, came in the room, opened the door, closed the door, looked at me and said, hey, man, let me tell you something. You don't have to live here. You disrespect my wife one more time, I'm shipping you back home to your biological mom.
Yeah.
Yes,
And you
sir.
will never come back here.
Yes, sir.
I said, but you're my dad. I said, and I am, but that's my wife.
Yes.
And I made a vow to her. And my vow is to make sure that you have a roof over your head, make sure that you eat, and make sure that I raise you in the way that you should go. And since you don't want to respect my house, I'm sending you back to a roof over your head with your mama. I'm sending you back with clothes on your back and make sure that you are good and healthy. But you're not going to disrespect my wife. And I shifted that day. I was like, okay. And to this day, like, that's my mom. I'm their only child together. Like, if something was to happen, I told my other mother, I was like, yo, listen, you are my mom just as much as my biological mom is, because she went through a whole lot just like my biological mom did. And but it taught me so much, right? And I asked this young lady that, and I think that's why we didn't date. She said that her child will always be first.
Ryan.
And I was like, wow.
Yeah.
I said, so your husband is, she said, no, I mean, that child needs me for the rest of their life. And I was like, yeah, I can't do that.
No.
Yeah, you don't want someone who's going to put the child over the relationship for that specific reason. It's one thing to be super protective of your kids, and that's me all day.
Right.
My kids can't even go outside the driveway.
Right.
My 12-year-old can't cross the street.
He's all, he's just over the top.
They can't
Like,
ride
let
bikes
them
in front
ride
of me.
the bike.
I don't even want to see them fall.
You don't want to
They
see them
do that
fall.
stuff, but like I can't watch it. So I'm very protective, but at the same time, like there's got to be a balance.
Yeah.
And that's
Definitely.
one of the things.
And that's why I
you
said it
will
depends on the time of the day, or depends on the age of the child.
Yeah.
With prioritizing between.
And she does a really good job of that, honestly. So.
And I think that's why y'all are so successful on the business side, because you all prioritize the relationship side.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
And that is something that I'm looking for.
Yeah.
So if you ever hook me up again, just make sure y'all send me the right one.
Right.
We'll make sure we got the interview. These are specific interview questions for AO. We got to make sure he's good.
Yo, you know what I'm saying?
That's
Now
funny.
listen, both of them they sent me were beautiful. I ain't gonna lie about that. I was like, good God Almighty, Lord Jesus.
Sir.
But so that is good. And you guys, I want to definitely recommend that you all check out their show, Building with the Masons.
Yes.
It's gonna be coming out every Wednesday?
Every Wednesday.
Yeah, every Wednesday.
Every Wednesday on the YouTube channel. We will drop their YouTube channel below. Totally different, y'all. So they're going to be talking about how do you build as a couple, build as a family. They're going to be talking about relationships. But one thing I really love about it more so is I think we need to see more Black representation of young couples who are winning financially and winning in their relationship.
Yes.
Yeah.
And then I think you'll learn, like, okay, hey, we're humans, so we're going to disagree. We're going to have the arguments. How do we get through that season to continue building? One last question I want to hit y'all before we go is a legacy question. What are you all teaching your kids about money today? Like you all are making all this money, so they're growing up in the beautiful homes, and y'all, they got a beautiful home, and they're talking about getting a bigger one. I'm like, for what?
That space.
What in the world? Y'all got more kids coming? Are we done?
She could in high school. She said she wanted 5. We'll see where
We got 3 right now, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
You want 5?
No.
Oh, I was about to say,
High
dang.
school, I did say I want 5. Anthony wants a boy, so
Yeah, we gotta try one more time.
We may try one more time. One more time.
It's a story that we're going to do on the channel. This really is our 4th child. We had a stillborn the first time.
Yeah.
So this would be 4 girls
Yeah.
that we have right now.
Yeah. I think it's important to tell that story. I would have had an older brother. Oh. Yep, but we had a stillborn, so we lost him.
Yeah.
So to answer your question about
What
the
was
legacy,
the question?
about the legacy piece,
Yes.
it's a couple of different ways we do that. So
We always tell our kids money does not grow on trees.
and she could what?
I graduated.
Accounting degree.
Yes, I graduated in accounting degree.
So that part right there alone is like you can't even put a price tag on that. So just showing the girls one about saving. Our youngest one keeps a wad. Well, I mean like. She got more cash than adults. Like,
right.
That she'll go to Target. She picking up toys whenever she wants. It's like, Daddy, I'm getting up. Like, what you doing? She saves her money. Another way that we do it is during the pandemic when we were buying our first investment property, we took them along with us. We showed them how to scout out a neighborhood, showing them how to run the comps to make sure that it's something that's actually going to make sense and is going to yield you a profit. We had a 3-hour home inspection that day. They came in. They're experiencing the home inspection. They're looking for certain things to make sure that it's the right property. So we show them that, and then
Not
we just
only
show them.
that, since I am an accountant at heart, when I go to pay household expenses like the mortgage or water bill, electric bill, or anything like that, I have Chloe sit down with me so she can see what it takes to live.
You leave that light on in the hallway?
You know how much that costs? You know how much that
Remember
costs.
on Everybody Hates Chris, how you used to say, hey, that's 25 cents worth of orange juice.
Right, yes, right, that you waste.
So like you literally, we take them through everything. We don't sugarcoat anything when it comes to
the bills.
What we spend or bills. Like we let them know, hey,
this is how much it costs. And so they know, turn off the lights when they leave out of the room, different things like that. Don't leave the water running or taking all these long showers. So biggest thing for us is teaching them how to save, how to budget, and investing. And then also giving back. So we want to make sure they give back.
Philanthropy is huge.
Yes. So like for this past Christmas, we went and we bought 50 toys and we bought 100, and our team contribute to it as well, our real estate team, the agents on our team. We bought all these toys and then 100 canned goods, and we took them to a women's shelter. And they love doing things like that. They love to give back. So they're like, when's the next thing we're going to do? What are we going to do next, Mom? So we're always planning each quarter of what we can do to give back to the community.
With the average child growing up in a household that makes about $60,000 to $70,000, comparing that to your child who is growing up in a home that no matter what, they're going to see $500,000 or more. Beautiful home, 5 bedrooms, nice luxury cars, going to nice schools. Their environment is different. Some people would say like, oh man, that child is going to grow up spoiled. And then some would say, well, that child doesn't understand hard work. And it's like, for me, I'm like, how come the norm, especially for Black people, like how come the norm has to be our children has to grow up working hard all the time and struggling? How come they can't grow up in wealth and spoiled environments and still come out with a hard work ethic, still come out with, wisdom and knowledge on how to really apply it with you all's kids? Where do you see their future? Do you think that they're going to grow up differently than what you two grew up on? Because, they're coming up with different finances and situation, but will they still have that hard work, respect, integrity coming from you all?
Yeah, so definitely 100%. I believe that our kids, while we show them the importance of hard work, whether it's through what we do within our occupation. One of the shows I'm going to show you 2 episodes of hard work.
Wow.
And the support that the family as a whole gave me. And there were times that I could have gave up, and which you're going to see. But I think it's really important to instill in them the hard work and the reward that comes from it.
Yeah.
So no matter how much money you have, we make sure that our kids truly understand that while the world is at your feet, you still have to work hard to get it. Nothing is going to be given to you.
Right. They still have chores. They still have things they have to do. And of course, we do have, being a mom in business and a business owner, we have leverage for sure within our home. So we have cleaning service, we have a nanny, we have babysitter on call, we have a landscaper, we have a laundry service, we have all these things so that we can have, quality family time. But at the same time, they still know how to do their laundry, they still know how to sweep and mop, they still know how to make their beds, all of that. So it's nothing falling short on that end to where they can't support themselves or know that, they do have a luxury, but at the end of the day,
Mommy and daddy's luxury.
Right.
I tell them that too.
That with the laundry, we're like, okay, you keep changing clothes 5 times a day. We're going to end up you're going to be washing your own clothes in the laundry room in the house. So
3 daughters, bro.
Yes.
What if your daughter comes home with a guy, and he makes $40,000 a year and he's struggling, but he's a solid man.
As a father, if my daughter brought home someone like that, as long as she loves them, I know that I'll always be in a position to give opportunity.
As long as he loves him, he's good to her.
If he's good to her, he loves her, and he making $40,000 a year, that's okay. But I'm gonna help you make more. I'm gonna give you an opportunity. I will always be a business owner.
So you're saying, okay, cool, great. I'm curious, fathers. If your daughter came home with a guy who made $40,000, say $45,000 a year, he's not winning as much as you, what would you say? Drop it in the comments. Drop it in the comments. Someone asked me that. He was like, hey, Anthony, you're going to raise your kids up differently because, your kids are going to see, if I have a daughter, they're going to see a different life. I was like, that is true. And the guy said, are you offended that your daughter didn't come home with someone like you? That made me question. Like, I was like, dang. Like, you spent 18 years with her, and she comes home with a guy who is opposite of what she's been raised by. I'm like, ooh.
Income doesn't define you, though.
I feel you.
Income doesn't define you.
Your degree does not define you.
Degree doesn't define
Anthony
you.
does not have.
I don't have one. The common question I get from people, which is, it blows my mind.
What college did you go to or graduate?
Everyone always assumes that I graduated from a 4-year school. I did not do that. So to me, it's not the income that defines you. It's, do you get the opportunity? Are you prepared when the opportunity comes?
Yeah.
And what do you do
with the opportunity
when you get it? So for me, that's why I say, as a business owner, I could care less what my potential son-in-law would have. As long as he's committed, he loves my daughter.
Treats her good.
You're gonna come work for me. Or something that I have going on. I would put that opportunity out there for him. So that's how I look. I just look at it a little different.
But you do have a 4-year degree because your other half has one.
And I did help her pay that.
Yeah, and
I helped her
he
pay
told me he helped me pay it. But
you marry into a degree. You marry into a degree.
Come on now,
man. And I tell her, I'm like, babe, you went and got it, but I'm helping you pay
for it. Come on, that's my degree too.
Right.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah. Whatever.
Dear future wifey, I don't have one. I help you pay for it though. Or if you already got it, I help you pay it off.
Yeah.
Right, you know what I'm saying?
Shoot.
Yeah.
But I love it, y'all. These two are two of my favorite people, man. Met Anthony first when I first moved here. We all go to the baddest church in the United States of America.
We do.
Union Church. And we just launched our second church with my close friend, Brian Bullock, at their high school.
Yeah.
In Charlotte. So Union Charlotte is in the building. Union Church, Pastor Stephen Chandler and Pastor Zai Chandler. And so that's where I met this amazing couple. And I love them dearly, y'all. So these are not just people who are going to be showboating their life, right? They're really going to give you substance. And I told them that. And I said, hey, listen, this is about how do we add value and entertain and show. I really want them to show. I mean, because they have an amazing life, right? But it's like, hey, how do we help people? And so this show is going to help you if you are that couple. It's like, hey, man, how do we build something together? Because I think we need to see more couples building together. And can I be real with you? I like the fact that y'all know me. I love women. I love a good-looking woman. Bible in the booty.
He does.
Yes. Bible in the booty.
Bible
Two B's.
in the booty. 2 B's. You know what I'm saying? But I wanted a good-looking couple. Can I just be real with y'all? We need to see more good-looking couples winning. We got some good-looking people. So single ladies, don't get in this DM. Brothers, don't try it. You're going to have him and you're going to have me. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, just don't even try it, y'all. Let's just get the wisdom. You know what I'm saying? But I wanted to show a different image of black people, and this couple right here is doing it. So go subscribe to their YouTube channel. Go watch their show. Share it. It's night and day from my stuff. It's night and day from everything on the Neatness Network. It's almost like a vlog style, right?
Yeah.
It is. It is.
So, I mean,
we're given a couple of different looks. It's going to be a vlog style. We have some cinematic episodes where it's very high end. So we're just excited to be able to share our life and just take everyone along on this journey.
Wow.
And continue to give nuggets on how you can build and have an effective relationship with all of the distractions out here in the world and the false depictions you see on social media. We want to show you that it is possible to build a booming business, have a loving wife, and how to be a father, husband, wife, mother.
Yep, and then still show the raw as well. You know, like
because we got some scenes where some disagreement, and you're gonna see it.
Disagreements, or you know, me just having a baby. We have a 9-week-old baby now, just like going from, you know, gaining 50 pounds to losing the weight, and you know, just feeling like myself again.
Luckily, you got a husband that's a bodybuilder.
Oh yes, this is true. He does. He does meal prep for me, which I've lost 30 pounds already from the meal prep.
I am.
You are.
All right, that's enough. Send them back on home. We see exactly how they got 3 kids. Talking about we may get it 4. They gonna have 5. Shit, talking about you are.
Yes, sir.
Jesus, put this camera on me, CJ. God damn, be listen.
He can't keep his hands off me either. So.
Anyways, y'all, we love y'all. Thank you so much for watching today's episode. And you see why the Masons. You see, one of their secrets of building is them two. You know what I'm saying? It's them two. I bet behind closed doors they be like, you know. Yo, love you all. Check out their show. Their information will be in today's show notes, and we'll see you in the next show. Peace out.